Let's freaking go. We are live not only on Power Hour LSU, but also Power Hour NFL and Power Hour SEC. We have been able to build all three of these channels over the past couple of years. And look, I got to be honest, I really appreciate each and every one of your support. So, pretty much every year during the NFL draft, we just kind of chill and go along with the picks. And obviously, if you are an LSU fan or if you're an SEC fan, as you see in the top right corner of your screen, or if you're an NFL fan, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be showing love to all the players tonight, outside of course, the Alabama players. Huh? 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 So we got blue, we got green, we got all kinds of fun backdrops. Let's go with the green backdrop tonight. I like the green backdrop. So we'll see what happens. I truly do believe the big story begins at pick number 2. Will the Commanders actually pick Jayden Daniels number 2 overall? I believe that they will. So what I will show you, and it's not the best graphic I've ever made, but uh, here we go. I actually released my big board, okay? And it's not as pretty or as scientific or as beautiful as other people's big boards. And it's also kind of tough to see, but let's go ahead and show you. This is how I have the players ranked. And, this changes if you um, take a look at their landing spot. So obviously Marvin Harrison going to Arizona is a better landing spot than Malik Neighbors going to the Giants at pick number 6. So Malik Neighbors is my number 1 player in the draft. Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle out of Texas. Marvin Harrison is my 3rd player. Laitu Latu, Amarius Mims out of Georgia. Quinyon Mitchell, Nate Wiggins, and then I have Jayden Daniels. Just barely outside of that top 5. I jockey back and forth between Jayden and the corners. I do think Joe Alt's the best tackle in this draft. Caleb Williams, Olu Fashanu, Ramadunzi, and so on and so on. So you're taking a look right now at my board. As you can see, I'm not as high on BTJ as others. I'm a little bit lower than consensus. And I'm a little bit lower than consensus on Brock Bowers. But we'll see where he actually goes. That's going to be a big one. So I don't even know how many players this is. I just started listing guys in order of who I think the best players are. And I think I've obviously forgotten a few really, really, really good players in here. So for me, Axel, everybody welcome Axel. He believes, or she, the best quarterback will end up being JJ McCarthy. Okay. We say hi to Tony B, the Master Blaster. We say hi to Van B, Jared Addison. There we go. A good bit of you are going to be LSU fans, right? Coming in from Power Hour LSU. But take a look. We're all about all the SEC teams. We're all about all the NFL teams. Uh, I think one thing that my LSU fan base would not know about me is how big of an NFL fan I am. And pretty soon I'll be doing a Saints show multiple times a week, and there will be more info on that coming up pretty soon. So, LA Mom says, yes, it would be nice to get a signing bonus like these guys are going to get tonight. Yeah. So, you know, I'll be honest, their signing bonus is like 20x what I've made in total on YouTube. So I'm trying to get on their level. Huh? 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 So yeah, let's have some fun tonight. Let's do it. So, who is your number 1 LSU player in this draft? Okay, give me your best answer in the comment section. Let's see here. So I'll put this up on the screen for a little bit. I believe it's Malik Neighbors. This is the NFL draft order for tonight. Of course, last year, LSU did not have any first-round picks. The year before that, they had Derek Stingley Jr. Um, their highest pick last year was B.J. Ojulari in the 2nd round. Bears are 1st, Commanders 2nd, Patriots 3rd, Cardinals 4th, Chargers 5th, Giants 6th. My boldest take, and I'm going to stick with it, alright? This was my long shot play, and there's actually a few people that went and made it, and I'm starting to get a little nervous about it, is Malik Neighbors, number 4 to the Cardinals over Marvin Harrison. Um, that's been my boldest take, alright? The draft is starting right now. From Detroit. Tyler, good to see you. Thank you for the photo. His son, in the bottom left corner of your screen actually wears some PHO merch today. So, there you go. But yes, if you've not subscribed to Power Hour NFL or Power Hour SEC, please do it. If you are an NFL subscriber, please subscribe to the other channels. It goes an absolute long way. So there you go. They're about to put the Chicago Bears on the clock, and they got Eminem on stage. There you go. The real Slim Shady. Please stand up. Yeah, Axel, I'm interested. Why do you believe JJ McCarthy is the best quarterback in this draft? The master blaster. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at this. I think Cortez Hankton just tweeted out a photo. Okay. All right. Let me show you this. So there's Brian Thomas Jr. at the draft. I love the suit, BTJ. Okay. There's Sherman Wilson at the draft, showing some love to Greg Brooks. And there they are. Coach Hankton with BTJ and Malik Neighbors. There's Malik. Oh man, this suit is so cool. I pay a lot of money for that suit coat. Look at that. It's such a good suit. I know. I think Cortez Hankton actually paid for the suits. I will also say this as someone who grew up mostly with the Lions just sucking. It's awesome that the Detroit Lions are actually good in football again. Let's go to Razorback Rick, showing some love on Power Hour SEC. Where do I think Cam Little will go? Um, if he's going to go, it'll be in the 6th or 7th round. He will have to be one of the, better kickers. Alright. Bears are on the clock. Okay. Cam Little is the 3rd ranked kicker according to CBS Sports, slightly ahead of Alabama's Will Reichert. The number 1 kicker is the thicker kicker from Missouri, Harrison Mevis, and Joshua Carty is the number 1 kicker out of Stanford. So, normally, what, maybe 2 kickers get selected, 1 to 2. Um, the thing that kinda stinks about a Razorback, Rick, is when you look at the Hogs, how many players will they have get drafted this entire weekend? I don't know if they're gonna have any in the first couple of rounds here, but I do think Dwight McGlothern does get selected. And obviously a lot of LSU fans are familiar with Dwight McGlothern. Turned out to be a really good player, at Arkansas, so he'll get picked, and, we'll see. Besides TOV, yeah, Pegasus, it's pretty much locked in. I did see a few people bet $1,000, $1,000 that Caleb Williams will get picked number 1 overall, and the payoff is 10 bucks. So you're betting $1,000 to win $10, basically. So $1,000 and you'll receive $1,000 or $1,010. Caleb Williams, no nail polish tonight. I woulda loved him to rock the nail polish and be bold. I woulda loved to have seen it, but we know it's gonna be Caleb Williams. If you say you're gonna rock the nail polish and you don't, that means you caved. I read a story earlier today that the Kansas City Chiefs were actually trying to go get Paxton Lynch, and they weren't able to go get Paxton Lynch because they did Andy Reid did something against the rules while going to get Jeremy Maclin, and that cost them a draft pick. Thus, it ended up hurting their draft capital to go up and pick Paxton Lynch. Then, instead of taking Paxton Lynch, they ended up to get Chris Jones, the third most important piece of the Chiefs dynasty, as far as a player is concerned. Then the next year, because they didn't get Paxton Lynch, they ended up drafting Patrick Mahomes. So, I say all of that because you could be the biggest Cam Little fan of Arkansas, as we are streaming on Power Hour SEC. You could be the biggest Terrion Arnold fan if you're an Alabama fan. You can be the biggest LSU fan and think Jaden Daniels is the next Joe Montana. Folks, it's all a crapshoot. You can put as much resources and research into it as you possibly can, all right? And look, I have my takes, and my takes, if you have an SEC player that has a chance of going in the first round, I have an opinion on him, all right? I think Amarius Mims is the best offensive tackle in this draft. I would take him as the first tackle off this draft. That's how confident I am in him being good, all right? Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, even though he played in the Big 12, I think he's gonna be good. I am not as high on JC Latham as others. I think but all of this comes down to fit, right? Some of these guys are left tackles, some of these guys are right tackles. Um, there's so much luck involved in this. And the truth is, and this has been proven multiple times now, that NFL teams over the years would have been better off just drafting based off of the consensus big board, right? So what a consensus big board is there sites that compile all the rankings and they mash them all together and they give you an aggregate ranking, kinda like how On3 is an aggregate recruiting ranking. Um, they mash it all together and the aggregate, if you just abided by that board, you would do better than your own evaluations. Now, some teams have done better, some teams have done worse. So it's pretty crazy. It's got a chance, and once again, there's so much time in between these picks. We will, of course, talk about whatever. We can talk about transfer portal or whatever, but I guarantee you, Brian Kelly's not taking any transfer portal calls right now because he is currently in Detroit. Um, let's go to Chance here. Ask Carter with the portal now, how can they really do a list of which school a kid came from? They might need to give percentage. Ah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, look, and that's actually a good point, Chance, because there is a decent, shot that Jaden Daniels' relationship from an Arizona State coach, because Antonio Pierce, who was the linebacker coach at Arizona State while Jaden was there, is the head coach of the Raiders. So if Jaden does for some reason slip, the Raiders might be able to trade up and go get him, okay? So, yeah, they should show all of it unless it's like a Joe Burrow situation where all your career success, was at LSU. So, yeah, I think you should do that. Like, Dwight McGlothern was a good player at LSU before he went to Arkansas. Um, Jermaine Burton is gonna get selected tonight. He was a good player at Georgia, he was a good player at Alabama. So, let's see what happens here. Let's go to Razorback Rick. It's another level. Not everyone can level up. It's also for mostly a business. Many can't handle that. That's true. That's true. Okay. Roger Goodell. Oh, he just picked Jaden Daniels. Oh my god. Oh my god. Roger. Oh, there's no way the Bears just there's no way. Oh my god. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and JD Mother effing I'm just kidding. They picked Caleb Williams. Okay, good. I got somebody. I got LA Mom. LA Mom's like, "You know what? I've never been to the Windy City." I love it. I love it. I actually, um, just got a Jaden Daniels LSU uniform not too long ago. Uh, Caleb Williams to Chicago. My best Bears, friend is also a USC fan. Uh, God, Caleb is going crazy up there. I would say act like you've been there before, but no one's been there. And by the way, Joe Burrow was robbed of this opportunity. Hell, neighbors might fall to them, Pegasus. I mean, Todd McShay is dead set on the Giants taking Roma Dunze over Malik Neighbors. Bears get pick number 9. So yeah, they could trade back. Um, Caleb. And I probably won't go live for too long. I'll probably go to about the Saints pick. All right. This is where things get sexy, y'all. Stay until all 3 of the Tigers get picked. I might do that. It depends. I'm actually driving to New Orleans tomorrow. Just drove down to Baton Rouge, to call the game baseball game, and, I am going to the Pelicans playoff game on Saturday, so I'm really excited about that. Look at this. Saving and BK. Huh? 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 Bro, that was, the top 5 craziest things I've ever seen at a baseball game live. Hit him right in the freaking temple. Ben Roethlisberger, I've not heard that for Caleb. I can see it though with their, play extending style. I don't know if I necessarily see Stafford, but maybe in terms of the audacity to make big throws. But you don't think he's Patrick Mahomes level. Right, the pick is in. Here we go, JD5. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, you think Caleb is that good, Pegasus? Okay, I believe you. All right. Get to see Mel Kiper back. He had an ear infection last year. Mel Kiper was doing this for 40 plus years. 40 plus years. All right, here we go.
With the second pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels.
Oh, time to go to work. It's time to go to work.
Let's go, Jaden. JD5. Whoo! Jaden Daniels. All right. Let's talk about it. Um, this is the best quarterback in the draft. Now, is this the best landing spot for him? It's not the absolute most picturesque landing spot. I think Chicago is a slightly better landing spot, but it's still pretty good, right? So you're going to Washington. They're quarterback hungry. They do have a legitimate number one weapon in Terry McLaurin. I hate Jahan Dotson. I don't think he's that good. I don't like the tight end situation there with Zach Ertz. Offensive line is I guess okay if you ask me. And running game, you get Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch. Even though Austin Eckler on the later part of his career, um, Cliff Kingsbury gets his guy. This is who Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator, has wanted. Defensive head coach and Dan Quinn. I didn't really love that hire from the Commanders, but it was late in the process, so what the hell? Um, I think Jaden's the best quarterback in this draft. I think New England would have been a disaster spot for him. And look, since the Joe Gibbs days, this has been a mess. This is an absolute mess. So I think Jaden's going to turn it around. I do. Now, obviously, you as a quarterback oftentimes comes down to the division. Okay, tough division. Dallas, good. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, good division. Giants are not good. This is a terrible team. But the Eagles are the Eagles. With Jalen Hurts and Howie Roseman, they're always going to be good. But the Eagles had a downturn last year, and we'll see how it turns out. Gary Nussmeier's dad, now on the Eagles coaching staff. So it should be very interesting to see how Jaden's career plays out. But I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I do. I do. I do. Jaden Daniels. Now, so far, so good. This draft has been straight chalk up to this point. Um, this is where what we expected. Chicago and Washington, they have been starving for good QB play. That is cool. Jaden and Lamar playing 30 miles apart. Uh, Tigers are officially QBU. It's wild, man. Absolutely wild. Big Al said 1, 2, 3. Hey, excited about Jaden. Now, am I a little bit worried about the ownership, general manager situation there? Maybe, but I still think that I think it's going to be fine. I really do think so. Okay. Jaden freaking Daniels. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it after the Florida State game where he was fine, but he went on to be one of the best Heisman Trophy winners ever? Now it comes down to where Malik Neighbors. Where's he going to go? Patriots have been trying to trade back for a while. Cole Kublik says LSU is the first school to have 4 QBs selected in the top 3 of the NFL draft. The first school to have 4 QBs selected in the top 3. And you wonder why Bryce Underwood and Colin Hurley wanted to come here. Huh? 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 All right, let's see what the Patriots do. And they have taken Drake May, so no trade outs. This is gone once again, according to Chalk. All right. I've said from the get go, Jaden Daniels, number 2 to the Commanders. Drake May, number 3 to the Patriots. Now, this is my boldest take. Now, if I were to submit a mock draft, because they grade mock drafts and they give out a prize to whoever has the most accurate mock draft, I would have Marvin Harrison go number 4 to the Cardinals here. Okay. But I have heard that Arizona, some in that building have a better grade on Malik Neighbors than Marvin Harrison. Okay. So I think that is enough for me to give it a shot because all the powerful NFL people, the Todd McShays, Daniel Jeremiahs, there were more. Yeah. There were more. And more of these NFL national insiders, Adam Schefter, the most prominent, that have been saying Malik Neighbors is ahead on many NFL boards, ahead of Marvin Harrison. Do I think the Cardinals are gonna be bold and do something like this? Yes. I believe that they will. I believe that they will.
Oh, this would be nice to wear to the game. I want you to look nice. Thank you. Come on, G. Yes.
First time Piddle on Power Hour SEC and Power Hour NFL. Thanks for hitting the microphone.
Everybody say hi to Piddle. Oh. Sorry, I'm interrupting, guys. I'm packing. Oh, that's one of your favorites. Yeah, it'll be cold down there.
Interesting. CJ Stroud says Drake May is the most NFL ready of the QB draft. Interesting. no idea why so many people have compared Jaden Daniels to Justin Fields when they are not remotely close to each other.
What are you doing in here, Mama? Trying to get all the things ready, my babies. These are black good. There we go.
Mm.
This is always a good one to have, baby, right? The black good fellas.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at you. Look at you.
Magic Johnson. I'm so thrilled and excited to welcome Jaden to the Commanders family. I think it's going to be Marvin Harrison. I don't think they're bold enough.
Carter,
They did.
will you?
Dang, I just lost that bet.
How much? Don't tell me.
$1,000.
No.
Huh? Huh? Mm. Cardinals weren't bold enough. It could just be that I was wanting to be right so bad. But it doesn't mean that Marvin Harris is going to be better than Malik Neighbors. One thing that is interesting, though, so they said that Caleb Williams is a generational quarterback prospect. Normally, the guy that goes number one overall is going to a bad situation. Chicago is going to be an unbelievable situation for Marvin Harrison. And then they said, no, excuse me, Caleb Williams is going to be an unbelievable situation for Chicago. And then they say Marvin Harrison's the best wide receiver prospect of all time. All right. And guess what? He's going to a great situation. They got an elite quarterback or a very good quarterback. They've got Trey McBride. They've got Michael Wilson, who's a good young receiver. They've got other pieces at Arizona to surround Marvin Harrison. So yeah, it's very, very, very interesting.
Alrighty. Papa's done.
I still think one of the most narcissistic things you can do as a human being is name a child after yourself. Like there shouldn't be any juniors. You got to
Carter, you're cold. That is not a nice thing to say.
no. It's I don't care. It's if you were to name a child after you, like there's an infinite amount of names you can come up with, but no, you want to start your own legacy. You're so important that you want to name someone after you. You can name him anything. You could have named him Melvin Harrison. That's fine. There's like I feel bad for people like Harry Connick, like Harry Connick Sr. Right? I don't know if Harry Connick Sr. was actually like a musician or anything like that, but Harry Connick Jr. outshined you. King Griffey Jr. outshined King Griffey Sr. There's so much pressure. I feel bad for Jerry Rice Jr. He sells insurance. Let's go to Don. He says JD5 versus the Cowboys twice a year is a bummer too. There will be no Carter the Power Jr. Here's the thing, though. What's very interesting. So Harry Sr. was a district attorney. Harry Connick outshined you, Harry Sr. My first real name is Booga. So my dad is the third, and my brother is a fourth. So yeah, sure. Do what you got to do if you want to be junior or the second. It's a lot of pressure though. What what if what if Junior wanted to name his son something else and he was only going to have one kid? It's a lot of pressure to be a junior. A lot. So I heard that Bill Belichick, who is the Patriots head coach, or he was the Patriots head coach. He's destroying Drake May right now. There might not ever be a more lopsided trade in NFL history than the Panthers Bears trade. And I like Bryce Young coming out. Is Minnesota actually going to get a quarterback? No. So, Minnesota had to have a few things go their way. So they decided, of course, to move on from Kirk Cousins. And they needed the Commanders or the Patriots to take JJ McCarthy. But that's not what happened. They said that there might be a lot of trades. Chargers. Please pick Malik Neighbors. That'd be a dream spot. And they go off at the tackle. So once again, Joe Alt. So Brian Kelly gets another first round pick. Better than the Bama guy, JC Latham. Now, Todd McShay at pick number 6 has said repeatedly Rome Dunzi over Malik Neighbors at pick number 6. Jared, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. What will Jaden Daniels' bag be like from the Commander? So it's already kind of put in place. So he'll make like $7 million a year in salary. It's like anywhere from 5 to 7 million for the second overall pick. I'm horrible with contract numbers. I really am. But if I was the Chargers, I would have taken Malik Neighbors here. NFL is all about the genetics, baby. Dad was in the NFL. He's in. But you knew Harbaugh was going to take a lineman. Alt going that high, not great for the Saints. Why would you say that, Pegasus? Because the Saints won an offensive lineman. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed. I'll probably go all the way up to a pick for the Saints, pick 14. All right. Joe Alt is good for LSU recruiting. So Brian Kelly could have back-to-back years, top 5 offensive tackles in the NFL draft. Emory Jones or Will Campbell next year. I'm calling it now. My hottest take: Emory Jones will go higher than Will Campbell. Likely not be right. My Malik Neighbors hot take didn't come true. But the Giants is where Malik has been mocked to the most. But I'll repeat, Todd McShay and a few others had the Giants going Roma Dunzi here. There's also a chance that J.J. McCarthy is a pick here. The Saints will trade up and take a tight end from West Dakota State or something stupid. Huh? I think the Giants are gonna go Malik Neighbors here. I do. I've been told repeatedly that Malik Neighbors is either gonna go number 4, Cardinals long shot, or number 6, Giants. I'm still gonna stick by it. I think the Giants are gonna go Malik Neighbors here. Also drafted a ton of teams on Underdog Fantasy with that in mind. Okay. League neighbors to the Giants. Giants get the best player in the draft at pick number 6. Worst situation for Malik? Uh nah. I mean, Daniel Jones sucks. We know that, but Brian Dable's a good play caller, and the Giants wide receiver room is ass. So Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee is just not really it. Um, Darius Slayton has been a good player. Wan'Dale Robinson is a good slot player for them. They don't really have a weapon at tight end, so they're trying to figure out if Darren Waller's going to retire. And I here's the thing about Malik Neighbors: true transcendency is not situation dependent. And of course, every situation matters. Like Patrick Mahomes would be still one of the best quarterbacks ever, but he went to the best situation he could have gone to in the NFL. Malik Neighbors is not going to a great situation, but he's so good, he's still going to produce. And there are so many Pro Football Hall of Fame wide receivers that played on crappy teams their whole careers, right? Larry Fitzgerald was with the Cardinals for so long, right? So Andre Johnson was on some up and down Texans teams. I think Malik is gonna be special, right? And, I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be good. Let's go. And he referred to himself in third person. If you do that, you're gonna be a freaking dude. That wide receiver, you gotta have that mentality. And if he's good in New York, concrete jungles, y'all know it, baby. So Not the best situation for Jaden or Malik. I do think this is where I think Brian Thomas Jr. will go to the Colts. I think Brian Thomas Jr. to the Colts. And once again, it is a pure miracle that Malik Neighbors made it to LSU. Now, you guys know I'm a jersey number snob. I am a jersey number snob. All right. Jaden will get 5. I don't think anyone on the Commanders has number 5. The New York Giants have a player on the team that wears number 8. He is their franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones. I am begging Malik Neighbors. He's obviously going to want a single digit. Number 5 is also taken up by a star player there. Is Malik Neighbors going to go Uno in New York? Is he going to go Uno? We know he's going to go single digit, but will he rock Uno? Is he old enough? That'd be cool. 13 would be cool. And that's part of his Twitter handle. I think that'll be his jersey number. Let me see. Does anyone on the Giants wear number 13? JC Latham to the Titans. So Alabama gets their first round pick. Okay. So where does Brian Thomas Jr. Let me see. Let's see if number 13 is taken up. Number 1 is open. Okay. No, number 13 is taken up by Jalen. So more than likely, he's going to get like 7 or 1. I could see number 1. Mm. I'm not a Latham guy either. I'm not. I think that's a bit of an overpay. I think the Titans should have gone offensive line, but I would not have gone Latham. Um, let's see what the Falcons do. But so far, this draft has gone chalk. It has gone as expected. I'm telling you, I think the Chargers passing on Malik Neighbors will go down as one of the worst NFL draft decisions in a very long time. That is how confident I am in Malik Neighbors. Damn, Michael Penix is having a draft party. He might not even be in the first round. He's got a huge draft party too. Everybody dressed to the nines. What if he doesn't get picked? I mean, could the Falcons go Bo Nix here? I mean, Kirk Cousins hurt often. Maybe he's not as healthy as they initially thought. Maybe their medicals aren't as good. They go Bo Nix or Michael Penix as a top backup. No. Oh. Wow, they went Penix. I'm not kidding. Wow, bro. Wow. Woo! Woo! Holy crap. Wow. Wow. Damn. Okay, that is one of the most shocking picks in NFL draft history. Wow, dude. Wow. That is in freaking sane that the Falcons did that. There's no way. Holy crap. I was just spitballing. I did not actually think that that could happen. Holy moly. God. Wow. Whew. Whew. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I'll tell you this. If I'm the Saints at 14, Byron Murphy is where I would go if I'm the Saints. Even though defensive line isn't the biggest need there. BTJ, one of the best career out of all the receivers in this class, according to Simper. Okay. So I'll tell you this, and this is something that's been picked up. A few weeks ago, actually, an NFL person reached out to me and said, "Hey, have you heard about this BTJ torn labrum?" And I didn't. And I reached out and I heard that it happened versus Alabama, that he just kind of played through it. You know, a labrum is something you can kind of just go through. And it's been flagged by a few NFL teams, and that could cause BTJ to slide some, especially considering this is such a deep wide receiver class. But man, Michael Penix, that's that's crazy. Mm. That's gotta be okay. Now, if you're the Bears are either gonna go defense or a Dunzy. Okay. They're either gonna go a Dunzy or defense here. If I'm the Bears, I would go Byron Murphy over a Dunzy. But if you don't feel like you need a defensive tackle, go get a Dunzy and um, put a Dunzy with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Odunze. Okay. Really though, this draft has gone chalk outside of Michael Penix at number 8. Uh, and that's the thing that sucks for Malik is he's going to by far the worst situation out of any of these offensive first round picks. He is going so if he truly is the best player in the draft and he produces at New York, he truly is the best player. He is going to the shittiest situation. New York, terrible weather, outdoors, bad quarterback play. coach who might be on his last leg. Um, Tougher division in the NFC. So, yeah, Marvin Harrison, got Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, unbelievable skill guys. I mean, literally every single offensive player in the top 10 is going to a situation you can kinda talk yourself into, except Malik Neighbors. So, you know, that kinda sucks. It really, really, really does suck. Um, but yeah, you know, it's I still think Malik's gonna be the best player. I do. So now the Vikings are at 10, and, they're probably gonna take JJ McCarthy after a trade up here. So, there you Okay, this has gotta be McCarthy here. Okay, yeah, I just saw something, it's McCarthy. I was trying, not to tip Um, if anything, like I said a minute ago when I was just spitballing, I was like, the Falcons, I would think that they would go get Bo Nix over Michael Penix. So it's gonna be interesting from a fantasy perspective. Um, I think JJ McCarthy. I'm definitely taking JJ McCarthy over Penix in fantasy drafts. Do I take JJ McCarthy over Drake May in fantasy drafts? Um, yeah, I was saying what I said a minute ago. Drake May has a worse situation than Malik Neighbors. Um, I think I'm taking JJ McCarthy over Drake May in fantasy drafts. I am. Um, but that's just me. That's just me. Huh? 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 Um, so for a while, I have heard JJ McCarthy connected to the Vikings. I also heard Jaden Daniels connected to the Vikings. So now that all this is done, I'll share a few things that I've heard from NFL sources and Jaden sources and so on and so on. The Washington meeting, and we touched on this um, last night. The Washington meeting did not go um, as well as everybody hoped it would go. And there was some angst amongst Washington and Jaden's camp, but they let bygones be bygones and they did the right thing. Okay. Um, what I can tell you though is the Vikings were very interested in Jaden Daniels. And they were also very interested in JJ McCarthy. And obviously, Drake May's quarterback coach is the quarterback coach of the Vikings now. So there was interest the Vikings had in all three quarterbacks, but they were going quarterback the entire way. That wasn't really a mystery. Now, what's interesting is the Raiders are out of the quarterback market now, unless they get Bo Nix. And now Sean Payton at pick number 12 will have the decision of whether or not he's actually going to um, is he actually going to go with Bo Nix there? So no defensive player selected yet. Once again, I would simply take Byron Murphy. I think he is the best player. He's the best player on my board still up there. Latu Latu. Jaden and Malik are the first ever quarterback wide receiver duo drafted in the top 10 in the same draft. There you go. You gotta go take Roma Dunzi, man. I know you should have taken the. I still can't believe that the Chargers passed on Malik Neighbors. I still can't believe it with what they have at wide receiver. I think Brian Thomas Jr. to the Colts is going to happen. Y'all think JJ McCarthy's going to be a bust? Oh, dang. Malik and Jayden currently tied for first in this poll. Let's see. Jayden winning the Power Hour NFL poll. Check the Power Hour SEC poll. Okay. I didn't do a poll on that. Razorback Rick in there hanging out. Ooh, I just got the Jets pick, and it's the guy that I wanted the Saints to get. Or the guy that's been mocked to the Saints the most. Uh, hmm. Okay, the Jets got my guy Olu. So the Saints can still take a Marius Mims out of Georgia at pick number 14 if he's still there. Olu, okay, I see you. Mm. Olufashun. Why do I like Amarius Mims so much? I think he's one of the more athletic players. He is built like a freak of nature. 6'7", can move people. Um, love his pass sets, and he's just been hurt a bunch. He doesn't have a ton of experience, but count me in. A lot of it is like I'm not as analytically sound as a Hayden Winks or someone like that, but a lot of it is just my eyes. Like I use analytics and I use like RAS and stuff like that, but um, I I just trust what my eyes see, and I see Amarius Mims as a really, really good Pro Bowl level tackle. But once again, you have to worry about health. I just looked it up. 6'7", 340 with a 5 flat 40-yard dash and a 9.57 RAS. Count me in. And that's true, Peg. It's a little that's why like for the Saints, I wanted them to get Fashanu because he seems a little bit of a it seemed like a little bit of a safer pick. Now, I'll do this. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, feel free to super chat. We have one super chatter via Venmo. Our guy Jared has. Okay. So Simper. Interesting. Yeah, they did. A king's ransom. And it's crazy because the Texans wanted Bryce too. Uh, Bo Nix has just been mocked to the Broncos nonstop. So Bo Nix is kind of a Sean Payton distributor quarterback. So I think that's where they're going to go, and we'll see if that actually plays out. I still can't get over the Falcons um, going going with Michael Penix, and there still hasn't been a defensive player selected. Um, if I'm the Saints, this is what I would do if I were the Saints. I would pick Byron Murphy. I would. I think he's the best player. But Mims, of course, fills a better need for you. Fuaga out of Oregon State, Tanu out of Washington. Uh, But I do think if you are watching from home, I think BTJ is gonna go to the Colts at 15. That'd be a perfect fit too. If not, he can go all the way to the Bills at 28, so we'll see. All right, so Bo Nix, to the Broncos, okay. Oh, don't show Bo Nix highlights. No, don't show these. You didn't need to show that highlight. All right, who will be the worst quarterback out of the ones selected? Discord's popping while I'm live. I like it. Ooh, Bowers to the Raiders. Oh man, disaster scenario for my buddy Blake Ruffino who wanted the Saints to get Bowers. Um, he does not look thrilled. They do not look thrilled. Holy crap. Oh man. Dude, he looks pissed. I this is definitely a best player available pick. Um, bad quarterback situation, and they already have a young tight end. They have Michael Mayer. Whew. That is brutal for Bowers. Brutal. Bad division, no quarterback. Raiders, here's what I think happened. I think the Raiders are gonna select Michael Penix. They thought that there was no chance that Michael Penix was gonna get selected by anyone ahead of them, and then the Falcons chose him at number 8, and I think the Raiders panicked, and they just picked the best player available. I think they would have taken, Bo Nix if they dropped to him. So, man, to the daggum Raiders. God, I hate that fit for him too. Oh man, I hate that fit. God, with Mike, I know Michael Mayer is not like great, but that's another BK guy. Whew. I I would not have gone in that direction if I were the Raiders. Oh man. Oh, so does Caleb have the nail polish on? I don't know. I can't see. That was a disaster for Bowers. Whew. Wait, why do I care so much? Because I play fantasy. I play a lot of fantasy football with Underdog Fantasy. Go sign up now. Promo code Carter. Get a deposit match bonus up to $100. Underdog Fantasy. The next best quarterback is going to be Spencer Rattler on pretty much every board, but I don't think anyone's going to have like higher than a second round grade on him. And there's no other teams in the first round selecting that are going to want a quarterback. So here are all the picks right here. Okay. So Seahawks, no quarterback. Colts, no quarterback. Jaguars, Bengals, Rams, uh, Steelers, no. Dolphins, Eagles, Vikings, Cowboys, Packers, Bucks. Could get a backup for Baker, but especially not now. And then obviously these teams definitely don't need quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Lamar, Purdy, and that guy at the end. Mick, that's kind of aggressive. There are no um, Oakland. There's not a team in Oakland anymore. But yeah, Saints are on the clock. I would go Amarius Mims here. But here's the thing: if you're the Saints, right? Obviously, they need offensive line more than anything else. I would admit that. And offensive line historically are better picks than pretty much any other position in the first round. What I would say though is if you were to go to any New Orleans Saints staffer and say, look, there has not been a single defensive player selected. Okay. You have the chance to draft whoever you think the best defensive player is. Okay. Because I guarantee you, there's not going to be many NFL draft boards that have no less than 3 to 4 players defensively in their top 13, okay? So the Saints have probably at least 2 or 3 defensive players in their top 10, okay, on their board. Go go get your best player available. I think you can like, if the Saints were dead set on getting Fashanu, uh, well, you're not gonna get him, obviously. I would not go Jared Verse here. Oh, man, I would not do that. Um, man, what will the Saints do? I'm getting ready to start hosting a Saints show. So, obviously, I keep up with the Saints, not as much as I do LSU and some of the other projects I do, but now, I definitely will dive even deeper. God, I would not have gone that direction if I was the Raiders. Unless Brock Bowers is the number 1 player on your board. If he's the number 1 player on your board or a top 5 player, simply put, if the Saints have a top 5 player on their board who's not been selected, and they're only drafting an offensive lineman because of need, then don't do it. Now, the most on-brand Saints pick would be the LSU killer, Dallas Turner. That would be the most on-brand because there has never been a defensive player who had a better 3-game run versus us than Dallas Turner. Never, okay? And we talk all the time. They never, ever, ever take LSU players. Watch us beat Dallas Turner. It would be so poetic. No, they don't. They go offensive line. They go Fuaga out of Oregon State. It makes sense. All the way from Hawaii to the Who Dat Nation. Talise Fuaga. I like the kid who's going in front of the camera. Oh, man. 6'5", 324. That is a massive human. Talise Fuaga. The nation's #1 run blocker. Talise Fuaga, according to PFF. Talise Fuaga. Am I a few minutes behind the TV? No. Uh-uh. Well, actually, yeah, I'm watching on my phone, so I'm not watching on like a television. So there might be a little bit more delay. I believe this next pick will be Brian Thomas Jr. I believe he will be a Colt. All right, so this is pretty explosive. The Falcons called Kirk Cousins when they were on the clock to let him know that they were drafting Michael Penix. And Cousins thought that they would be interested. And according to Diana Rossini, he is stunned. Stunned. I still can't believe Byron Murphy and Latu Latu are available right now. And Amari Smith. So if y'all want, I'll show you my board. All three of those guys are top 5 players in the draft. For me. And I actually had them higher than Jayden Daniels as far as an NFL prospect is concerned. So once again, I'm not as scientific as maybe some others. So look, I'll show you what I have here. Malik Neighbors gone, Marvin Harrison gone. So 3 of my top 5 players, and actually 5 of my top 7 players are still available. Mitchell, Wiggins, Mims, Latu, Murphy. I didn't have as good of a grade on Fuaga as I did Fatanu out of Washington, but I understood why they did it. So BTJ not picked by the Colts. Wow. Colts get an insane value here. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them at all. There's so much positive EV getting whoever you think the best defensive player is as the first defensive player at pick number 15. Okay. Once again, there's a ton of medical concerns with him. So be it. It's crazy. Now, Seattle won't take BTJ. I think Jacksonville could. They do need a Gabe Davis replacement. God, I still can't believe. I will tell you this. Okay, we'll see what Tampa Bay does. Saints are a big winner. Carolina, no first round picks. Their roster is still ass. The Falcons take, to me, one of the worst first round picks I've ever seen. Okay, even if Penix turns out to be good, that's one of the worst first round picks I've ever seen. And then you get a safe offensive lineman. Fuaga, I think, has a pretty high floor. And we'll see what Tampa Bay does later in the draft. Their pick is so much later. Oh no, Simper. I would think the opposite. Simper says if BTJ goes to Jacksonville, I retract my statement about him being the best receiving career in this draft. Everybody welcome Serena King to the channel. Good to see you, Serena King. I could not disagree more. I mean, BTJ is a really good fit in Jacksonville. So they have slot guys, Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. They need a pure outside receiver. All right. I like that. I think Jacksonville's a really good fit with Trevor Lawrence, um, who is a pure pocket passer. He's got some mobility. So love this pick for the Colts. Latu Latu. Liverpool's been losing. Mm. God. I don't know if I'm going to stay till BTJ's pick. I got a long drive tomorrow. Been a busy week. Mm. I'm just trying to figure out where BTJ is going to go. Let's go. Carter will Malik get too many double teams in year one? No, I mean they've got enough other good receivers. It's just that quarterback situation is really bad. Their offensive line was just so banged up last year, the Giants. Um, I don't know. It was it's a tough situation. It wasn't the best situation. The Chargers should have just done the right thing and taken the, um, the wide receiver. Anyone do some crawfish? Let's do it. God, the Seahawks get Byron Murphy. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. He is going to be a menace. That's good for LSU. First defensive tackle selected was by LSU's defensive line coach. Okay. Man, he's going to be a freaking stud. Freaking stud. He's just a good football player, y'all. Okay. Vikings picking at 17. Okay. Let's get sexy. God, Seahawks and Colts get a freaking steal. Okay. So BTJ is very much in play here for the Vikings as another wide receiver. They don't have a strong number 3. BTJ to Cincinnati is also a potential play. I don't think the Rams are in the mix there. They get Dallas Turner, the Vikings. Okay, good. I did not want him in Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow's division. Okay. Vikings having themselves a good little draft here. McCarthy at pick 11 and Dallas Turner. Once again, there was never an LSU player more productive than Dallas Turner versus LSU. That was actually a sack in his true freshman season, that LSU highlight. He's just an assassin. He is an absolute assassin. All right. Can they do it? Oh, dang. The Vikings paid a lot to go get Dallas Turner. This is cool. Kyron Lacey on the phone right here with BTJ and Malik. I know with Jaden and Malik. That's cool, man. Kyron Lacey, you're next up, bro. Oh my god. NFC South is just a joke, man. It is an absolute joke. Oh, buddy. So I don't know if this is true or not, but it'd be hilarious. Panthers owner just stopped inside to have a word with the owners about the sign-off front, and this is in Carolina. Please let the coach and GM pick this year. Ah. Oh, that's funny. That is absolutely funny. Dude, the inside of Malik's jacket was pretty cool, I agree. Alright, Imma go off after this, Bengals pick. Mm. God, come on, BTJ. Go join Joe Burrow. Please. Come on, BTJ. Hmm. I'm a pseudo Bengals fan, and if they take a Marius Mims here, I'll be happy. Let's see. Bengals are definitely my favorite team in the AFC. Saints in the NFC. They did it. God dog. Huh? 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 Oh man. Oh, there you go. You can be protecting my guy. Let's go. I would have definitely done that over BTJ. Mims is a top 5 player on my board. BTJ, even though I love him way more than Amarius Mims as far as being a fan. Bengals get insane value here. This dude is a freak, bro. God dog, Joey B. Jamar Chase. Love it. Mm. All right. Well, I'm going to call it. I hope BTJ gets selected. Dude, I will be so pissed. I don't think the Steelers need a wide receiver. The thing that kind of sucked for BTJ. So if you look at the rest of the first round, Steelers need another receiver. The Dolphins, you can talk into getting a receiver. Eagles, no, they're not going to go wide receiver. Jacksonville at 23. Could still go receiver. Cowboys could still go receiver. Green Bay, no. Tampa, no. Yes, maybe. Cardinals, no. Bills, yes. Lions, maybe. Ravens, yes. San Francisco, yes. Kansas City, yes. So when I sign off here, BTJ is going to get selected in the first round. Yes, there's Xavier Worthy still out there. Yes, there's A.D. Mitchell, Lad McConkey, and those guys still out there. BTJ is going to get selected. Okay. All right. I will be chatting the rest of the picks in the Discord, and we'll talk to you there. It is Power Hour LSU, Power Hour SEC, Power Hour NFL. Boom! And tonight we are doing Buffalo chicken.